Part 3. PaaS Model. Following on from IaaS, let's take a look at the characteristics of the PaaS model for software developers. PaaS is a model that provides an organization's application execution environment and application development environment as a service. PaaS is also middleware in nature and provides software platform services based on containers. The provider hosts the hardware and software on its own infrastructure and offers these platforms to users as a solution or service. This enables developers and programmers to develop, run, and manage their own applications, allowing them to focus more on development because they don't have to build and maintain the infrastructure or platforms involved in the process. PaaS is an intermediate level of service between IaaS and SaaS. As we've seen, IaaS provides infrastructure services such as servers, storage, and networks, while SaaS provides services in the form of applications that allow users to perform business services directly. The PaaS model provides services in the form of platforms such as development, frameworks, middleware, OS, etc., that are halfway between IaaS and SaaS. Representative examples include K-PaaS, Google Cloud Platform, and Microsoft Azure. Next, let's look at the benefits of PaaS from a developer's perspective. In traditional on-premise IaaS environments, developers struggle to develop software because of the amount of time and technical effort that goes into building the environment versus the time spent coding, testing, and fixing bugs. So developing software in an IaaS environment is often limited to moving an application running on a traditional web server to a virtual server. With PaaS, however, because it also provides an app development environment, developers can spin up instances or containers that are completely self-contained per tenant, which simplifies the application development process. Let's compare the app development experience with IaaS and PaaS. First, IaaS only automates the installation and configuration of standardized hardware, such as servers, storage, and networks. PaaS, on the other hand, automates the installation and configuration of standardized software as well as hardware such as frameworks, middleware, and OS required for application software development, enabling rapid software development and testing. The characteristics of PaaS can be summarized in 5 ways. First, PaaS is a service that provides a platform to develop, run, and manage applications. Second, PaaS is an extension of the concept of SaaS to a development platform. Third, you can easily borrow from the web without building a platform for development. Fourth, it allows developers to focus on development by borrowing the environment in which the application runs. Finally, PaaS allows for a shorter life cycle from development to deployment, making it easier to adopt a DevOps culture. In other words, PaaS is a model that specializes in developing applications and providing services in a short period of time, because the application execution environment, database, etc., are pre-built. Part 4. SaaS Model. Now, we will learn about the characteristics of the SaaS model, which provides services in the form of finished software for users. SaaS is a cloud service where a service provider provides the applications you need as a virtualized service. SaaS is a form of providing software functionality as a service in an IaaS or PaaS environment, also known as software on demand or software as a service. It is a model that centrally manages relevant data and provides access to software to users who access it over the internet, and users pay for the functionality they need and for as long as they need it. There are 3 main characteristics of SaaS. SaaS can accommodate user requirements through configuration without requiring source code level modifications. It supports a multi-ownership architecture where one application is shared and used by many users. It creates multiple instances and distributed management of users' data to support availability and performance, and it provides scalable services through virtualization, distributed parallel processing, and more. One model similar to SaaS is Application Service Provider, or ASP. The concept of using applications in the cloud over the internet is very similar to SaaS, but they are not strictly speaking the same structure. ASP is single-tenant, meaning it provides a dedicated environment for an individual user, while SaaS is multi-tenant, where it provides software to multiple users. To better understand the concept of SaaS, let's look at the SaaS maturity model, which breaks down the evolution of SaaS into 4 stages. Analyzed in terms of tenancy, configuration, and scalability. Level 1 is similar to traditional ASPs, where you provide a single instance to a single customer and customize it to meet their needs. This customization is costly, and you can't realize economies of scale because the instances operate individually. Level 2 is to create and provide a service instance for each customer so that the customer can rest assured about security and provide specialized services. Costs are reduced because customers customize through initial setup, but compute power is not shared between instances, so economies of scale are still not realized. Level 3 is multi-tenant. You'll support multiple users. This is the stage where multiple customers share a single instance of the service and support customization through configurations, realizing both cost savings and economies of scale. Level 4 is where you provide scalability through an auto-scaling instance, a load balancing system. Your customer's data is distributed, but access is restricted through configuration, and this is the most mature stage where you can distribute large volumes of workloads to reliably deliver a variety of services. To summarize, Level 1 is where applications are provided separately for each tenant. Level 2 is where users can configure their own settings by providing configuration functions. Level 3 is where multiple tenants can configure independently by logically dividing an instance, and Level 4 is where multiple users, independent settings for each user, and scalability through a load balancing system are all met. Next, we'll describe the key characteristics of the SaaS model. First, SaaS means that the service is available as soon as you connect to the internet. Software that works in a browser doesn't need to be installed on individual PCs, and even if you're using the service on many devices at once, you can just log in and start using it. There's less dependence on devices and fewer glitches, depending on the PC environment. Second, you pay for what you use. When it comes to SaaS, most have a subscription-based pricing structure, an allowance for the account you use. This means that the upfront cost is low, and since you're paying on a monthly basis, you'll have a stable budget. Third, the ability to use a small number of accounts, or for a short period of time, is also a characteristic of SaaS. You can try out new services on a trial basis, so the barrier to adoption is very low. Fourth, cloud storage is highly reliable and accessible. Data loss, such as customer information, directly translates into economic losses for companies and affects their brand image. SaaS providers invest heavily in maintaining and securing their environments, making them highly reliable against threats such as disasters and cyber attacks. Fifth, SaaS allows you to use the latest version without having to do updates and versioning yourself. SaaS providers are constantly updating their software to fix bugs, change specifications, add new features, and improve the user interface, so you always have the latest version of the software. Finally, SaaS eliminates the need for resources and money to maintain software. The cost of maintaining and managing software by experts is replaced by the cost of a SaaS subscription, which reduces maintenance costs. As discussed in Section 1, the cloud market is broken down by service delivery model, with SaaS offerings accounting for the largest share. Enterprise-based SaaS, which is evolving in traditional software areas such as Office, ERP, and CRM. There are also specialized SaaS for industry convergence to improve productivity and create added value in individual industries such as manufacturing, healthcare, and finance, and document storage. There are also SaaS for information life to make life easier for individuals, such as document storage and collaboration. As the market size of SaaS grows, it is increasingly used for business operations, sales, marketing, software development, and human resources. This concludes this section, Understanding Cloud Models and Features. In the next section, you'll learn about cloud-native applications.